Hey friends, Joe the Farmer here. Welcome back to the farm. And in today's video, we're going to do a really like a 90-100 day review, first impressions kind of video of the Bighorn 550 EFI. This is a machine that Tractor Supply is going to carry this summer. They're starting to get them now. It's not going to be in every store, but my understanding is it's going to be in parts of the country, and other parts of the country will have other inventory. We've had this machine. It was provided to us by Bighorn. We are very appreciative of that. However, that is not going to skew our opinions. I'm going to tell you some of the things I really like about it, some of the things I don't like about it, and maybe if this is the right machine for you or not. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you one incredibly unique feature about this machine that you will not guess. Not one of you will guess it. You could try in the comments guessing it, but you will not guess it. Don't fast forward. Don't cheat yourself. It's like Christmas Eve. Wait for Christmas morning. The anticipation's worth it. I'm going to show you something really, really cool about this machine that you'll see. Let's walk around this machine. I'm going to show you what I like, what I don't like, and if it's possibly something you may want to buy. So let's do it. Okay, so if you haven't seen the video on this machine, again, Bighorn sent this to us. This is a new machine. They're known for building quality side-by-sides, but they have a partnership with Tractor Supply. You can only buy this machine through Tractor Supply or through one of their dealers in their dealer network. You can see I accessorized a little bit, put this little, I don't even know what this thing is, an Amazon cell phone holder, GoPro holder, so I can get you all some sweet footage from the front. But one of the things that's, the first thing that stands out about it is that this is my favorite thing. Hands down, my favorite thing about this machine. It is extremely comfortable. I actually had a comment from someone who asked me, they said, hey, I'm 6'3". Do you think that I would fit in this thing? I'm 6'4", and I have tons of headroom in here. It's extremely wide, much wider than the other machines that we have. And it's just easy to get on, easy to get off of. There's no real obstructions down here where you're hopping in, hopping out. Some doors would be cool if they were an accessory just to keep some mud and stuff off. But I haven't had an issue with that. And the way that the wheels are flared out, as you can see here, these things are pretty flared out to where it's going to catch a lot of the debris and everything. Whereas, some of the other ones, this is going to end up on your leg. So walking around it, I thought about washing this thing. I was truly going to wash it. I was like, let's wash it. Let's put our best foot forward. But then I thought to myself, that's just not authentic, right? Like, how do we use this thing? We've run it hard. I've already patched a hole in one of the tires. We've run it pretty hard. But just to give you an example, is in the back, we've got some turkey decoys from turkey season. We've got Foslock lake chemicals. We've got batteries for trail cameras. We put some seed out, some of the necessities. Got some bar oil from a chainsaw. This thing has been used. It hasn't been, this isn't the kind of thing where it's a vanity machine. And we told Bighorn, to their credit, we said, listen, if this thing comes out here, if you watch our videos, we're hard on this stuff. We use them. We don't, this isn't something pretty you kind of dress up. We actually really do use this stuff. Some of the most impressive things about it are the power. It is a very, very powerful machine. First thing that I would say about it is that it's extremely comfortable. Second thing I'd say about it is it has power for days. Very, very, very powerful machine. The winch works great. We've used the winch. We're actually trying to get a ladder stand up. All right, so ran into some issues with a ladder stand going up, so we're using the winch on this Bighorn 550. We're gonna see if we can't test the winch's durability. It wasn't pulling anything super heavy. I've never gotten it stuck, but the winch was strong enough to actually crush a ladder stand. So, rip to the ladder stand, but the winch worked great. On to something I don't like, which I believe that this is gonna be fixed and changed, because this was one of the first machines in the US. It needs to have some CV boot guards. These things right here, they're gonna get a bunch of debris, thorns, brush. I mean, this is a pretty thick rubber boot, but some kind of guard there would be really helpful. It'd be nice. In that same kind of respect, it'd be kind of cool to have a little bit more of a beefy front end just to push down brush and push down hay or saplings or things in the way. Protect these nice LED lights. That's another thing I love about it, is this LED light is really cool. But anyway, that's just, we're kind of splitting hairs at that point, but this is important. That needs to be something that in the future gets on there. So another thing I love about it is it has a hood release similar to a car. Prop it on my head so I can, there we go. You can get to the battery very easily. The disconnect for the speaker, or not, the horn was super easy to disconnect. Just unplug that thing so I don't have any annoying backup alarm. But this is super easy to service. If you want to unplug your battery during the winter time, or if it's going to sit for a while, very easy to get the battery out. easy to fill in the overflow reservoir coolant. Just super well thought out. We talked about in the first video, I'm not a huge wheels guy, but I do love the way this machine looks. These wheels are super nice. I mean, they're just, it really classes it up. It doesn't look like a value machine or inexpensive machine. These kinds of things on options on more expensive machines, that's going to run you a lot of money, and this is all just included. So as this machine sits right now, this is all how it will come. So I think it's important just to know, this is what you're buying. You're buying just one package instead of having to get a bunch of add-ons. I haven't done anything with the bed as far as partitions yet. As you can see, I probably should, but the bed lifts up very easily. Engine compartment's very clean. Servicing's going to be a breeze. Getting in there, and I still need to do the first oil change. But as far as everything else, I mean, these shocks are really nice. You can adjust them, which is great. I haven't adjusted anything because it seems like it rides great from the factory, but a lot of hardcore composite plastic on here. We talked about in the previous video, the nice thing about these machines being plastic is that you don't have to worry about rust. We have a Kawasaki Mule, has a metal bed. I spent this winter time changing the oil, servicing it, and then I had to paint the bed because it was starting to rust. Operator controls, walking through this, has a really nice spot here. I can fit trail cameras in here, throw your phone in there, throw a water bottle in there. It has this little area here for a phone. I think that's for a phone. You can throw your phone in there. And then this will actually fit big Yeti Rambler cups, which is nice. Got a glove box. Whoever assembled this machine left their glasses. So if someone from Bighorn's watching this and these are your glasses, let me know. I'm happy to ship them to you, but I just figured I'd keep them here until then. Comfort of the cab. These vents, I'm told that in the future there may be a heater that will come with this. At first I thought, what's the point of that? Because you have open doors. But I have a soft side enclosure kit that Bighorn sent me with this. So this wintertime we'll put that on, and then potentially we'll get the heater kit and see how that thing works and let you all know. But gears are very easy to go through. There's no searching for them. It's very crisp, knows exactly what gear it needs to go in. As you all know, some of these things you have to kind of jam it in and really work it to get it in there. What I can say is that this brake pedal, you have to really jam that thing on to start the machine, because if I just tap it, well, it's starting to loosen up now or break in, but like I'm tapping the brake pedal, you have to jam it, and then it'll turn on. But, as far as the steering wheel, this is adjustable. You can adjust the steering column. Not sure how to do that with the camera, but anyway, there's your adjusting. And has a nice little LCD or LED, whatever it is, screen. High beams, low beams, lights, turn signals, winch, hazard lights. There's your second or two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive lock. This stuff is still breaking in for me. It's still pretty, it's not super clean when it shifts yet, but that will, I've noticed in other machines, that will start to kind of loosen up and really start working better. The lockers work great, no issues there. Then of course you have a 12-volt receptacle. You can charge phones, whatever you want to do with it. So two-seater machine like this, flip that up, becomes a three-seater. Super cool when you want to bring a little buddy with you. And yeah, rear view mirror, there you all are. Pretty good construction. I feel very safe in this machine. I did add the windshield. The windshield took me about 20 minutes to do, and that was me just relaxing doing it. Catches some spider webs and stuff, but that's okay. It does need a bath, but it's so far so good. Let's talk about some of the things I don't like. We've talked a lot about the looks of it, the comfort, the things that it comes with. It's great. It's really I think it's a good value for what you're buying. What I don't like about it are that if you can look through, I don't know if this is going to show you, but we have pretty steep hills everywhere. Hills. When we're driving on these hills and these slopes, the transmission really doesn't know if it wants to be in high or low. So what I would say to you is that if you're on a very hilly property, there's sweat beads everywhere. If you're on a very hilly property this may be the kind of thing where you may want to test one out before and see if you can kind of tolerate that, because there are times where I'm in high and I'm rolling up a hill. I go over the other side of a really steep hill coming down, and it really wants me to go into low because it'll kind of thrust a little bit. And that's just, you know, I think that it's tuned and it's meant to be on a very flat surface, or a flatter surface than what we have it here. This is kind of an extreme terrain out here. It doesn't look like it on camera, I promise you. You can't see the slopes out here that we have. I've asked other guys who have channels, I'm like, hey, how do you show slopes? You just can't. The camera doesn't show it. But if you look here at the lake, you know, we're probably 2 stories higher right here than at the bottom of the lake. Now, driving up this thing, we're not gonna have any issue whatsoever. It's perfectly fine going up a hill like this. What I mean is, like, where the dam is, driving up the side of that dam, it really struggles. You know, even the belt has slipped a few times, where you can hear that the machine just doesn't love putting all that weight up that hill. You know, but that's probably a 35-degree slope, which one could argue should we really be on that with a side-by-side anyway. But as far as like driving around here, driving up and down this thing, you know, this is a pretty good slope. It's not gonna have any issue going up there, but it's really that big hill going down there. You know, the high-low just, it searches a little bit for it. But on flat ground, if you have a flat driveway or flat-ish ground, you're not even gonna know what I'm talking about. As far as four-wheel drive works great. Like I said, when you're pushing those buttons, any of these things, it's a new machine. Even though we've had it for about 3 or 4 months, it takes a while for these things to break in, all the gears to marry and everything, but the four-wheel drive works flawlessly when it engages. I did pop one of the tires, like I said. That was kind of, you know, I wasn't really doing anything big. It was on that 35-acre field I mowed, and just driving through there, something went through the tire. I don't know what ply these are. Maybe I should check and see. 2-ply, that's why. 2-ply is probably not going to get it done if you're really going to be taking this thing and doing some rough stuff with it. So in the future, if we ever have to replace the tires on this, we may be looking at doing more of like a 6-ply or a 4-ply at least. You know, should it be an option? Yeah, it'd be great if it was an option to have a thicker ply, but if you start doing that, I understand then everything has to be an option, right? So they have to figure out the best way at this price point to get it out, and that's what they've done. And I think that it's, you know, for what it is, it's been a really great machine. I mean, I can't really think of anything negative to say about it other than the gearing thing. But here, you know, we bought an expensive commercial piece of equipment because the slopes are so dramatic out here. Even tractors have a hard time on some of these things. So, I mean, it's not really fair to just bang on the machine for that. But, you know, I just want to be honest with you all, because my loyalty's to you. So as far as this, you know, tailgate works great. I guess one gripe you could have about the tailgate is if it's on a hill or something, the bed will flex and you can't really close the tailgate because that gap will close. But I mean, who cares, right? That's not a big deal. I told you this video would be short. I wanted to do a follow-up video just kind of going through, you know, this machine. It was delivered, I think it was in January, and during an ice storm. You know, all the footage is on there. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it. We will continue to give you updates on this machine. I just wanted to get something out here and let you all know what we think, what Clay thinks. So I promised you towards the end of this video, I would show you something super cool about this machine that you would never guess. I don't know if you guessed or not, but this machine has a little brother. Whoa. To be continued.